Hola amigos, Brad Evans with you alongside Senior Fun Buns, Brandon Funston. 'Tis indeed Fade the Noise, presented by our awesome partners at BetMGM. Go there and sign up immediately. Bet on games, props, and more at BetMGM. Promo code NOISE, NOISE. Again, promo code NOISE. And submit your questions to us right now. We're going to be here for about next hour or so, as we are every single Thursday during the NFL season, via the Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube on the Fade the Noise channel. So if you're racking your brain about the matchup tonight, perfectly crafted, by the way, for a hashtag Tequila Thursday, between the Rams and the Raiders. Submit those to us. If you have any other questions, maybe you're, toeing the line right now, whether you're going to be in or out of the playoff picture in your fantasy league. And what a horrific bye scenario we've got this week as well. Brandon, I barely pay attention to bye weeks during my fantasy football drafts. And I knew, and people are like, oh, you didn't come up with a plan? You didn't have this on your agenda at all for the bye week, coming up, in week 14? No, I knew about it, but I didn't make any maneuvers to quell the inevitable headache that I am dealing with right now. So I'm in a 20-team league. I am like one of the last 2 or 3 teams out of the playoff picture, but I could play my way in. I got 5 guys on bye and a 20-teamer, so I'm resigned to screwage.
Oh, okay, here we go. Weeks 5 through 12. That's 8 weeks, four buys per week. Get it over with, out of the way. Come on, NFL. You act so like you're so embracing of the fantasy world, but then we get to this week 14. We're like, what the hell are we doing with 6 teams on bye? It does help that, it's like Indianapolis and Chicago and Atlanta and there's some scrubby teams on the outs this week, but even scrubby teams have usable fantasy commodities. So
yeah, Justin Fields. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Although Justin Fields, he could use a week off.
No, I have a lot invested in Justin Fields right now, and I need him playing this week, but I don't, unfortunately. So as a result, it's Kenny Pickett fever for yours truly. So I guess I'm sticking with the rookie quarterback theme, in the end here. So hopefully he will not do me dirty at all. All right, we're going to dive in on what is a filthy game. Speaking of doing us dirty, it's Rams, it's Raiders. Amazon's got to be thrilled with this matchup, considering the Rams. And when last I saw, about 2 hours ago, Adam Schefter tweeted out that there is a distinct and real possibility that the recently acquired Baker Mayfield off of waivers could be inserted into the starting lineup if Walford's neck gives him any problems in like warmups or the hours leading up to the kickoff. Perkins may come in on some packages that are run based, as we know that he's got plenty of juice in his legs, an RPO based quarterback. But it could be Baker freaking Mayfield under center for the LA Rams tonight when it's all said and done. So that's what we're dealing with this evening. So Brandon, let me find out where your head is at, because the line right now is Raiders minus, and I'm going to go, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to update this because we have seen some line movement here at BetMGM, and I'm going to give you the updated numbers because Captain Hook is available on both sides of the ledger as the Raiders, if I can get this up now, maybe not, are favored by, and it's not coming up now, 6.5.
You're in your late 40s. It happens.
And 43.5 is a total. So give me a game score prediction, would you, hombre?
Well, I was just sitting here imagining, because I knew you were going to throw this at me. And before I even saw what the game total was, I had 24-20 Raiders. So I think, listen, there's no such thing as a home game for the Rams, and especially when it's the Raiders, and, Raider Nation is everywhere. So this is probably more of a home game for the Raiders. I just think the Raiders are going to Raider as well. Like, just when you think you know what they're going to do, they're going to backtrack. So I do think the Rams are just in shambles. And if they start Baker Mayfield, it's even worse, I think, than John Wolford. But I think somehow the Rams will keep it closer than the 6.5. So I will say the Rams lose by 4, 24-20. So I guess we're going over by the hook on the game.
Hey, I'm back apparently. I have no idea what in the heck just happened to the broadcast as Funston was carrying on about the Raiders and saying the Raiders are going to Raider. And all of a sudden, the screen jumped out. So I don't know if there's internet issues at play. I don't know if the StreamYard is having issues. But I'm back right now, and hopefully Senior Funbuns will follow suit. Oh, here's the good news. That is working again. The banner access. And there is Brandon. And let me go ahead and bring it back in. I don't know what happened. We got kicked out.
Whoa. How much of my pearls of wisdom did you get before I got knocked out?
I heard the Raiders are going to Raider, and then you disappeared.
Oh, okay. Well, long story short, I think the Raiders will win because they're just a better team at this point. But I think that the Rams, they played pretty good against the Seahawks, and they got ways to use Tutu Atwell and Brandon Powell in interesting kind of ways. Defense is still good enough. I think they'll keep it close, but they won't win. And I'm going to say the over by a half on the game total, 24-20.
Oh, I got a 24-13. Las Vegas. I don't think the Rams are going to, particularly move the ball with much effectiveness. Maybe they're going to prove me wrong. It's not like the Raiders are the 85 Bears defensively by any stretch of the imagination. They have been generous. They have been rather forgiving. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring side of things for the LA Rams. And I do believe the Raiders will find the end zone and the upright somewhat frequently in this game. So 24-13, give me the under. And give me the Las Vegas Raiders. All right,
let me ask you one thing really quick. Is that your Baker Mayfield guess? Like if it's John Wolford, it doesn't matter.
No, I don't think it matters at all. And I kind of want to see the beautiful disaster that is Baker Mayfield. Because I will say the over or the under will be affected. And my under selection could be a jeopardy if Baker Mayfield takes controls because it could be a pick 6 or 6.
Yeah. Could be a couple pick sixes. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
All right, let's head into some of these player props. And first and foremost, let's talk about the guy who's been a battering ram for the Las Vegas Raiders. Are you willing to stack some greenbacks on Josh Jacobs over or under 88.5 rush yards, minus 115? Either direction. No Aaron Donald tonight.
I know, but they were still a good run defense. That's one thing they've done good all year long. Only Christian McCaffrey with 94 yards has gone over this number among running backs. I will play that history card, the recent history card, and say that he tucks in slightly under this.
It's close, man. If I believe the Raiders are going to win this game 24-13, that is setting up a scenario, a positive game script, which means there'll be plenty of salt the clock situations for Josh Jacobs. I'm going to take the over. It's barely. I think he's going to finish in the low 90s, but I'll creep over that. The Rams have allowed just 3.98 yards per carry the running back position this season. But again, that's with Aaron Donald primarily on the field. He's out of action. They're exploitable up front. I think Jacobs and friends will assert their will on the ground. Well, here's a duplication of a number, but it's tied to receiving yards. 80.5 set up right now for Davante Adams at BetMGM, minus 115 either direction here. Does it over convince you, or are you still going under?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, like I just watched Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf go for over 100 yards against this defense. It doesn't matter that Jalen Ramsey's out there. He's, when you're not as good up front, it doesn't matter how good you are on the back end if you can't get any pressure on the quarterback. So I think Davante Adams is going to get over, but I also do think that Jalen Ramsey is going to give him more attention, which means if you got a Mac Hollins over under, I want the over on that, which I think is at 45.5. But I think Hollins goes over. I think Davante Adams goes over.
I like Davante Adams go over as well. And, if you want to one-game parlay it with his receptions at like 8, 6 is the lowest threshold, but it's not going to really buy a whole lot more juice. 8's going to get you in a plus territory. It might be the direction I go. It could be 8 for like 100, 8 for 95 for Davante Adams, who's seeing 31.3% of the team target share. The Rams have allowed the second most wide receiver receptions on the year. You said Mac Hollins, and I'm going to actually pull this from the Fade 5 podcast I did earlier today. This is an OGP that I put together. Hang on a second here. I just got to make one slight alteration because I put this together at none other than BetMGM, and it was plus 105 on Matt Collins 30-plus receiving yards and Josh Jacobs 15-plus receiving yards. You're in?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I mean, the Josh Jacobs one, what's he done lately? I know
he's over this number in 7 to 10 games.
Yeah, I know he put up a huge number against the Seahawks through the air as well. So, yeah, I like that a lot. I think Matt Collins is, like I just said, I'd be over on his straight up 45.5. I'd probably run that up to 49. I think he'll get to 50. But, yeah, I like teasing that down, throwing in Josh Jacobs there, getting some plus odds. We always like to chase those plus odds.
Oh, yeah, gets seduced by that juice. It's quite an attractive play there. And then the last one I have here, the over-under segment, is Kyren Williams. Tank Williams on live on the line today. He is claiming all Williams as his cousin. I think Kyren is like third cousin twice removed, but still related to Tank in some way. 11.5 receiving yards. Is it worth backing the Williams that is of the Rams variety?
He has not. He did not get a catch last week. He had one target. Right now, I think they're trying to, see what Cam Akers has got. If they can, if they can springboard him from last week, getting a whopping 60 yards, and everybody went crazy, like woo, Never mind that Josh Jacobs just ran for a couple hundred against the Seahawks the week before. So, but I think they're trying to see what Cam Akers can bring to the table. So I just don't feel comfortable about Kyren Williams' role. He had 0 yards last week through the air.
So you're living in the land down under?
Yes, Colin Hay. I am living in the land down under.
No. You know what? Daddy want, daddy need, daddy gotta have it! Sledgehammer worthy of the over. And here's the reason why. I understand they only played on 26.7% of the snaps last week, but that was last week. I think you're going to see the version of 2 to 3 weeks ago of Kyren Williams take the field because the area of vulnerability defensively for Vegas vertically is primarily in the short field. 19 running backs have gone over this number. They're giving up over 6 receptions, over 55 receiving yards per game to the running back position. Cam Akers is an afterthought. He barely runs like 6-7 routes in a game. Kyren Williams should be a busy man. And I actually hope that Baker Mayfield is the starter because I think he will have a propensity for checking down. Williams has ran 39 total routes in his last 3 games. In his last 4, he's been over 2 and under 2. But tonight, he hits that over.
I had nothing to say to that except for I'm still hanging with Colin Hay in the land down under.
That's understandable. That's Brandon Funston. I'm Brad Evans. This is Feed the Noise. Submit your questions to us right now via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube. Subscribe to the new Fade 5 podcast, also live on that medium as well. Also, don't forget to watch Live on the Line at noon Eastern this Sunday. Senior Fun Buns, myself, and I think Danny Cleveridge will be back for that show. Cam is also back as well. And in Stadium, you can stream the show on Stadium at watchstadium.com/live. Every game, every single Sunday matchup is covered in betting for the masses that are out there. So if you want to tune in and watch that show, by all means, find us at one of the Bally Sports RSNs or on Stadium. Or you can stream the show at watchstadium.com/live and go to BetMGM right now. Games, props, and more. Sign up today and use that promo code NOISE, N-O-I-S-E, NOISE, N-O-I-S-E for a NOISE sign-up bonus immediately. All right, immediate answers coming on your questions right now. They're coming in as they always do, fast and furious, Funston. Let's start off with Frank Nunez. Let's go win some cheddar this week, boys. That's right. I'm taking the under. He's on the over, though. So one of us is going to, fatten the wallet. The other one, not so much.
You got a couple of big games on the line this week for your fantasy playoffs?
Dude, this fantasy season has been wretched. I've already clinched a playoff spot in one league, my local home league that is cutthroat. It's the Red Grange Invitational. A bunch of sports writers locally in Central Illinois participate. Barron's is in it with me as well. Former Illinois players are in it. I mean, people take it very seriously. I'm doing quite well in that draft. Everywhere else royally sucked, except for the Kings Classic, which I wasn't even at the draft. My buddy Kyle Stebbs drafted for me. I was still recovering from my bike accident, and I was helping him over the phone. We have Josh Jacobs on both teams, and that's the only reason why we're doing what we're doing, which is great things in those leagues.
Yeah, he's on a little bit of a heater right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a couple 7-6 teams that are, playing for their playoff lives this week. So, yeah, it's the big week.
That's us like League of Leagues. We're 7-6 in that one.
There you go. I guess I got 3 teams. Of course, I do that. I was completely dialed in on League of Leagues, but
yeah, I know it's your favorite league, bar none.
Well, I've been paying attention to the basketball side, not so much the football side.
Well, and the basketball needs all the help in the world right now. We need some assistance, so make some shrewd moves, will you? Right. And let's do the same for John Redinger. Need 2 for a flex in a PPR. Hollywood Brown, Debo Samuel, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rondale Moore, who I believe is expected back for Arizona in their Monday night game against the New England Patriots. So who are the top 2 there? Hollywood's got to be 1. Is Debo number 2?
Yeah, Debo's number 2. Deshaun Watson looked terrible, like the rust of all rust. We'll see how much he could shake off this week. But given what we saw from him, I'm not ready to trust Donovan Peoples-Jones again just yet. And Rondale Moore, he's the number 3 in Arizona now. So you want to go with at least the number 2 there in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm going to go Hollywood Brown. And Brock, ain't he purdy? Wasn't so bad last week. And, I kind of want to roll the dice again, even though there's game film out of him now. There's going to be some adjustments on the defensive end. There'll probably be some adjustments by Shanahan as well, which means maybe Debo gets more carries on the ground. Let's go to Ezekiel. Hola, amigos. Hola. Need 2 running backs and a flex, please. Deonta Foreman. Jamal Williams, who really is impossible to sit right now, considering he finds the end zone every damn week. His tag team partner, DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco, Treylon Burks, who looks like he's going to be back, Damian Pierce or Akers. It's an 8-team league.
I might be Alec Pierce because he did running backs, and then it looks like maybe.
It could be. Well, it could be.
You know what? I don't think it matters. I think my rankings are Deonta Foreman. I'm not skipping the Seahawks matchup there. And give me both Detroit running backs against the Minnesota Vikings. Terrible defense.
Yeah, and Alec Pierce is off this week anyway. He's got a bye.
Okay, so it's Damon and Damian, and it's Dallas. So yeah, give me the Lions. I'd rather have both Lions than Pierce against Dallas.
The game I'm most looking forward to is Lions and Vikings. I think it's fascinating. It's fascinating because the Lions are favored in that game, and people are like, what is going on? Are the odds makers drunk? No, I think Detroit wins this game. I think they humble Minnesota. Too. They keep, the hot streak going. So I'm with you. I like Williams. I like Swift. Williams, is virtually good for a touchdown every single week. And Swift's so active in the pass game. He could score as a receiver. And what was your third player? Was it Foreman or Pacheco?
No, I went with both Lions running backs and Foreman because I want DeAndre Swift is playing even now with Williams. They actually gave him a goal line carry. He ran it wide instead of what Jamal Williams does, which is right up the middle. But Swift went wide with it. But he's probably good for 5 or 6 catches as well.
Yeah, I agree. No disagreement there at all. J Red says Chiefs, Raiders, or Seahawks. Brandon, don't be biased. What do you like defensively?
It's close between the Raiders and the Seahawks, but I will go with the Raiders, especially if it's Baker Mayfield. If it's not Baker Mayfield, I might go with the Seahawks versus Sam Darnold, who also has a propensity for throwing pick sixes. So it's close.
It's really kind of like the draw with some of these defensive matchups, and especially if they're even matchups, you're hoping for a pick six or a scoop and score. I think it's very much on the table for the exact reasons Brandon mentioned. You want to follow a defense into a battle against Baker Mayfield. Lapje says, hola amigos, ¿qué pasó? Silly standard, we convinced GM to do PPR next year. Bravo on that. Bravo. Well done. To sway the ledger and convince your commissioner that receptions are, actionable and they need to be scored. So Mike Evans, my cousin, who may be falling out of the family, Zay Jones or Joshua Palmer, knowing that Mike Williams is trending toward playing this week, doesn't matter.
Yeah, if Williams was out, I would go with Josh Palmer, but it sounds like Williams is going to play, and so I'm going to have to go with Mike Evans. Would you go differently? I mean, Zay Jones was interesting, but then he just completely laid an egg last week after.
How many drops did he have last week? 5, 6, 7, 8? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, he has a good matchup. Zay Jones does, but we could see this could be Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram kind of emerged back again last week, and you just don't know where Trevor Lawrence is going. But I feel like Mike Evans has the best chance for a touchdown. Gonna get his targets. It's not a great matchup at all, but I want to go with Evans.
I like Palmer the best, honestly. Even with Mike Williams likely back in uniform, I think his role is still going to be significant. I still think there's a really good chance he's going to see 7-8 targets in this game. And it's got a lot of pew, pew, pew shootout appeal taking on the Miami Dolphins. And if he gets any pieces, Xavier Howard, that's a touchdown because he's given up only 6 this year. All right, moving on. J.R. Gilpadilla, Zonovan. So Bam is also what his nickname is, or Najee. Is Cook taking over in Buffalo? Thank you, Miko. So 2 questions, Zonovan or Najee Harris. And then what are your thoughts on James Cook?
My thoughts on the Jets and the Bills backfields are those are both split backfields in a horrible week to be splitting touches because both the Jets and the Bills are legit at stopping the run. So I'm going to go with Najee because he's still the volume play here. Michael Carter is back. He's healthy. He's not on the injured list. Zonovan Knight's not going away, but I think this is what the Jets have done. Wow, they're going to split the touches, and now it looks like Buffalo's almost right down the middle splitting the touches. So if that's the case, give me the guy who's not splitting the touches and Najee.
Yeah, and I can't go with Cook against that Jets front. I mean, they're talented defense across the board. So for me, no disagreement with Brandon on that one. John, just doubling down that he goes, I'm in the playoffs thanks to you guys. Remember, if I win, both of you guys are going to get a bottle of Suavecito.
Oh, my God. I don't know if I'm not rooting for anybody more than I'm rooting for John Redinger.
Screw my playoffs. I want the bottle of Suavecito Añejo, please.
Exactly. Right, that's better payoff than a lot of my leagues have. So there you go.
Yeah, that's true with my view on those leagues as well. Tommy says, hello, brothers. Full point PPR. I need 2 running backs on the flex. He's got Jeff Wilson. Is he going to have more than 1 touch? Isaiah Pacheco, Leonard Fournette, P. Ryan. We don't know about Mixon as of yet. Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, and Big Bam Knight. So he needs 3 guys. 2 of them got to be running backs out of a decent selection of players.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette because I think it's 6 catches again. He had 6 catches last week. I think they're going to have a hard time running, and Brady's going to use that short passing game to the running backs as the de facto run. And San Francisco's given up a lot of receptions to running backs. So give me Leonard Fournette, and I am going to go. Oh, I'm going with Jeff Wilson because the Chargers, the Chargers suck at run defense. They have all year long, and there's going to be a split there, but that's fine. It should work out. So Wilson, Fournette, and Devonta Smith.
It's Wilson, Pacheco, and P. Ryan for me. If there is no Joe Mixon, if Joe Mixon is back, I pivot to Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, well, I think Joe Mixon's back, so I think it's Leonard Fournette.
Hey, man, shit happens. You just never know. That's right. James Stellick says Corey Davis or Nico Collins, and then James also follows up with Jamal Williams or Deonta Foreman. It is Jamal Williams for me in that one. I think, Brandon, you agree?
No, I want Deonta Foreman against the Seahawks. My God, it's horrible run defense right now.
All right, you're bastard of the rat. Although I did write about Deonta Foreman this week's Flames, I just think the floor is a little bit higher for Jamal Williams, given his propensity for scoring touchdowns seemingly every week. What about the wide receiver craptastic dilemma here in Corey Davis and Nico?
God, I'm probably going to go Nico. He's been pretty consistently like 50 yards. Corey Davis going against Buffalo. They should have to throw a decent amount, but it's a tough defense. And Mike White could get absolutely overwhelmed by this defense. Mike White had some nice passing yard numbers, but this could be a little bit of a nightmare for him.
Yeah, indeed. All right, we're going to hit pause on some of your questions and comments, and keep them coming. There are 3 different ways for you to get a hold of us via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube on the Fade the Noise channel. Also watch live on the line this NFL Sunday on Bally Sports RSNs, and at Stadium. You can stream the show absolutely free at watchstadium.com/live. watchstadium.com/live, and go to BetMGM right now, you jackals. Sign up and get some action on games, props, and more. Use that promo code NOISE, NOISE. Noise, Noise. Player prop time now, Brandon. Props, some more props. We love them. Let's go to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and I'm throwing out Pat Fryermuth. 46 and a half, if I can actually say the numbers correctly. Minus 115, either direction there on the over or the under at BetMGM. What say you?
I'd say yes. I'd say over. It's had a good year. It's been pretty consistent. Been consistently around this number. So yeah, I will take the over just on a hunch.
I am also over. He's been over in 4 of his last 6. He's really come on strong here of late. 7.3 targets per game in his last 6. He's number 4 on the season at ADOT, average at the target at the tight end position. Number 2 in total deep ball targets. Those are throws beyond 20 yards. Baltimore's only allowed 3 guys to go over this number. They've given up, though, 41.2 yards per game to the tight end position. So it's a little bit south of 46 and a half, but I think Fryermuth hits 50 this week. So I'm with you there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a better tight end than they normally face, too. You got to remember, it's like if they're giving up 41 to the average, I mean, Pat Fryermuth has been above average. So there you go.
Yeah, he's going to do his best Mark Andrews impersonation. Next up, talk about another underneath weapon, and Tyler Boyd, the slot man. Is he worth pulling the lever on at 40.5 receiving yards in the Battle of Ohio Part D? Minus 115 on the over or the under. Where do you lean?
I lean towards Cincinnati being able to get a lead and sit on it with Samaje Perine and
just
Joe
sit
Mixon.
on it. Just sit on it.
And Jamar Chase is back. And I'm guessing there's some numbers here on the slot receivers versus Cleveland that drew you to this one. But I'm going to take the under here on Tyler Boyd.
Brandon is a coward, and I am taking the over. Because Tyler Boyd has hit the over in 7 of his last 10 games. Now, he went 3 for 38 in his prior matchup against the Browns back in week 8. And you might say, well, he's number 61 in ADOT. Well, no bleep, Sherlock. It's because he's an underneath guy. Nickels and dimes you. But it's getting a lot of Greg Newsome in coverage, who's given a 76.9 catch percentage and 103.5 passer rating out of the slot. And who is number 2 in total slot routes run? None other than Tyler Boyd. And 21 guys have reached 41 yards vertically against Cleveland last year. Make it a double deuce. Boyd gets there, despite what Brandon says. All right, last one. I'm really curious if you and I are going to disagree on this one. Stephon Diggs. Oh, I already gave away my answer. It's under 6.5 receptions. Oh, nice job proofreading, Evans, the script. Are you with me on the under?
Oh, God. How many times have you been under this year? You probably have that at your disposal.
Brandon, I have notes right here.
Okay.
I build notes, and there are games. There are no props out yet, so I have not filled those lines in. You might hear some of these again on Live at a Line on Sunday, so a little sneak preview there. But Stephon Diggs has been under this just 4 times this year.
Yeah, one was against the Jets. I'm looking it up right now. And you know what? Yeah, I'll take the under as well in this one because I think one of the strong bets out there right now is under 43.5 on the game total. They played to a 2017 last time. There's supposed to be a potential for some wintry mix in play in Buffalo on Sunday. So
talking dirty to me.
I think that even a 23-17 or 23-20, that feels right. So the Jets cover. The game comes under, the Bills win, and Stephon Diggs gets under 6.5 receptions.
Yeah, I like it. And well done there, Al Roker, on the forecast. I'm envious as a meteorologist.
Yeah, I know, stepping on your toes a little bit with that, but
it's too early in the week, man. It's only Thursday. You know, this far out of the forecast, you can't count if it's going to be wintry, mixery or not.
Well, the problem could be like what happened with the Houston quarterback last week. The pick 6 could be in play here for Mike White in Buffalo. So that could run, Cleveland got 28 points and they hardly had any offense at all. So
yeah, that's true. Did we do Justin Jefferson? Remind me.
No, we did not.
Well, we're doing it right now.
Over
or under 93.5. Yeah. Are you in?
Yeah, man. I'm in on the over.
I am too. So here, let me give you the data. The stats to back it up, because I know what you're thinking. Well, Brad, He only went 6 targets, 3 catches, 14 yards against that Jeffrey Okuda fella. And the first matchup between these two teams, no two games are ever the same. Justin Jefferson is an alien. He is otherworldly right now. 10.6 targets per game, number 6 in total air yards, number 16 yards per route run, number 3 in yak. Okuda's played well, but I think this has got 100 yards written all over it. This game's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And if
I
it's
think
like
the Lions are still like the most generous in fantasy to the wide receiver position. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've shown improvement. You got to credit where credit is due. They've made strides, but good luck catching and containing Justin Jefferson in coverage. I mean, he's just so slippery, so exceptional when he high points. He just wins those mano a mano matchups.
Yeah, don't disagree at all.
All right, we'll get back to the 2 more games. Got to preview because that's all that's available right now in the props market. Currently at BetMGM. But submit your questions to us. We're getting back to more of those here momentarily via the Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube on the Feed the Noise channel. Subscribe today and watch live at the line at noon Eastern on Battle Sports and Stadium. Also stream it at watchstadium.com/live and go sign up and play your jackals at BetMGM right now. Games, props, and more. BetMGM. Use that promo code NOISE, NOISE, NOISE to get your sign-up bonus today. And, waste it on college basketball because there's a decent but small slate tonight. A couple of rivalry games, Colorado State, Iowa. I will probably watching those instead of god-awful Rams football. But
again, by the way, congratulations, your Illini with the big win against the Longhorns, the Battle of the Orange.
Damn right. So Casa de Evans, there were a lot of expletives flown in front of my freshman-aged son. He learned new things from my wife and I due to the level of excitement that we were exhibiting as a family during the game. Even my dog was offended, but my son was not. So that I got him on the right track.
Yeah, there you go.
I still don't know how the hell they won that game.
Can't imagine there's a whole lot he doesn't know yet living around in your world. But
and my wife has a much filthier mouth than me, and that's saying something.
I believe it.
All right, let's get back to your questions right now, and I'm bringing them up right now. Hello. Let's see where we left off. Oh, yeah, I think we left off with Jesse. Jesse says, hola, chicos locos. Hola. Full PPR, need a running back, a flex, and a tight end. Harris, Bam Knight, Damian Pierce versus Dallas D, Fournette, Higbee, or Henry. Let me ask you a question, and this is related to Jesse's conundrum. Will Tyler Higbee actually score this year? He is yet to do so. It's, I think, like plus 250 at MGM on an anytime touchdown tonight. We know how susceptible the Raiders have been to the tight end. If Baker Mayfield gets the start, I kind of like Tyler Higbee on an anytime touchdown to break the funk, the scoreless funk he has been in all year. Am I crazy?
Well, part of that problem is you have to get down into scoring position, and that's, maybe the tough part for the Rams. This is actually 2 really good matchups, but Arizona is a better matchup, right? And there's been some continuity there. Like, you're going to have a new quarterback in play who doesn't maybe know the entire playbook. So I get some pause on the Baker Mayfield to Higbee connection, even in a good matchup. I'm going to go with Hunter Henry, who has been, I believe, over 40 or 50 yards. I think over 50 yards in 4 of his last 8. This is one of those games where he should get over 50 yards and have a good chance for a touchdown because it's against the Cardinals, who I believe are the worst in fantasy against the tight
bar
end
none.
position.
Yeah, it's either them or Seattle. They're like 1-2.
Yeah, but I think Seattle's a solid second right now. So give me Najee, give me Fournette in the flex, and give me Henry at tight end.
All right, I'm going to go Henry at tight end because that was such a convincing argument you just laid out. I'm going to go Najee as well, and I just don't trust Fournette.
6 catches. I mean, that's just like think about it as a quarterback that is going to get 60 yards, even if you don't think the passing yards are going to be great. It's kind of like the running back is going to get 6 catches, even if the rushing numbers aren't great. It's still going to play nicely in PPR.
Okay, PPR, you got me. You convinced me.
Yeah.
Done. Jackson Murray says Sanders, Judy, or Foreman for the flex. Foreman?
God, it's probably Foreman, but I really like Judy this week. No Cortland
I do
Sutton.
too.
Kansas City, they're going to be throwing the ball. Kansas City's been susceptible to wide receivers, and Judy actually has semi-decent numbers with Russell Wilson when he's been in the game, been in action. So I'm going to go with Foreman, but it's close.
I've got Foreman barely ahead of Sanders, honestly, and barely ahead of Judy as the third guy there. I mean, that third wheel is still spinning. And I'll be honest, too, on a related note with the Denver Broncos, I love Dulcich. Yeah. I do.
He's kind of the second receiver now.
He is. He's entirely the second receiver.
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited, very limited this year, but not so much of those two guys. The only sudden, hola, amigos. For a non-PPR, need a running back and a flex, and James Cook, Dameon Pierce, a lot of same names here, and Deontay Johnson also have Walker, but assuming he sits, I don't think Kenneth Walker III is going to play this week. So out of Cook, Pierce, and Deontay Johnson, running back and a flex, who do you got?
I guess I'm going Dameon Pierce because you're kind of chasing touchdowns here in a non-PPR. And you're chasing volume. And I guess I'm going Deontay Johnson because the matchup against the Ravens secondary. But, I mean, it's close. The Jets defense is good, especially against the run, and James Cook is split in the backfield. So give me Deontay.
I have interest in Cook receiving yards props. To be honest with you, I think getting outside the tackle box, working in the flat on the peripheral, outside the numbers, could be wheelhouse material for the Bills to move the football. And that's obviously front and center where James Cook thrives. But I'm with you there. You got to go with Pierce on the volume, and Deontay Johnson is probably going to get 8 to 10 targets in that matchup for whopping like 5 catches, 49 yards, and maybe a score.
Yeah, exactly.
Aubrey Sorensen, half-point PPR, need a flex out of Leonard Fournette, your guy. You're the fan club card holder right now. Raheem Mostert, who is very interesting this week. Kareem Hunt or Kyron Williams. Kyron's out, though I do like the over on the receiving yards prop at 11 and a half. Hunt's out. It's Mostert for me.
I'm going to go Fournette, but it's close. And I just don't know. I feel like I know that Fournette's in a straight split. Like, I feel like there's vacillation going on in Miami.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not as dirty as it sounds, but I just feel like McDaniel could pull the rug out from underneath Mostert this week, go a lot of Jeff Wilson. I just don't know. I feel like I'm comfortable with Fournette. He actually had like a 10-snap lead on Rachaad White last week, so give me Fournette.
I have STP's Vaseline playing in my head right now after that vacillation. And I almost feel like I need to download that now. We have to apply it to a player, but I can't apply it to Leonard Fournette because he's not nearly as slippery as what Vaseline implies.
Or it could be a player that you're kind of like vacillating on. So, you play Vaseline. But,
that could be a theme song. Yeah, that could be.
We'll workshop it and figure out what we can do here.
I will download it, and I think we will apply it. If we're torn on a certain player, you just hit the Vaseline as we're vacillating.
This is how we birth some of our greatest ideas.
They're miserable, terrible ideas. It got us kicked off to Sirius XM, and that's why we're doing StreamYards now. Caleb says, hola, I need 2 running backs in a flex. Swift, Jamal Williams, Pacheco, Singletary, Burks. I feel like we've already answered this. Are you going?
It's a different question. You're right, but we're getting a lot of the same guys. But yeah, I'm going again with the Lions backfield, and God bless America. Honestly, if Burks plays, I think I would take Burks against the
over
Jaguars.
Pacheco.
Yeah, I just the Denver matchup and Pacheco not really being huge in the passing game. Like, I don't know.
The Denver matchup is not nearly as frightful as it may seem. They're giving up 4.4 yards per carry, the running back position. I'm going to go Pacheco. I think the scoring upside is substantial with him, more so than Burks.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, okay. I'm not as strong on Burks to overweigh your Pacheco argument.
Hit that Vaseline sounder, Evans.
You can see that it's going to be a huge part of this show because there's a lot of vacillation.
I'm dead serious. I'm going to log into my tablet, and as soon as I'm done with the show, I'm downloading STP Vaseline, and it will be part of the next Fade the Noise. There it is. John says Fournette or Jeff Wilson Jr. It's Wilson for me and a PPR.
It's Fournette for me for the same reasons I just explained, which go back to that magical word of McDaniel and his vacillation on his two running backs. Give me Fournette.
We got to get a sponsorship from Vaseline at some point. Everybody gets a free jar of petroleum jelly.
Yeah, is Vaseline like Band-Aid? Is that like one of those? It's actually the name of the company.
That's the name of the company. I don't think the product itself is Vaseline, though.
But it's like Band-Aid, where every Band-Aid, no matter who it's made by, is called a Band-Aid instead of like an adhesive bandage, And like
all Vaseline is, it's lube. That's what it is.
Oh, that's such a good word.
Let's see if you're going to use a lube on this one from Jason Ola. Down Lamar Jackson. I picked up Jared Goff, but I should play him or Huntley, dual threat specialist of Baltimore. Getting the start this week against the Steelers, who at times been quite beatable in the past.
I got to be honest, these guys are neck and neck in my rankings. I have Goff one spot ahead of Huntley just because the matchup is delightful. Yep. And but Huntley's going to get you 40-plus rushing yards. It's just – and here's an interesting stat. The Pittsburgh Steelers have allowed at least one passing touchdown to every quarterback that started against them this year.
Oh, that is fascinating. And we actually have a player prop available on Jared Goff, and maybe this will sway your decision. So his pass yards prop at BetMGM right now is 268.5, which I think is the highest it's ever been all season long. So I like Goff.
Yeah, I do too. And now that I just mentioned Huntley, I'm going to be curious to see if his over-under on passing touchdowns is 0.5 and if it's an even juice, because he only has 3 in 6 games of 30-plus pass attempts. So, him not getting a touchdown pass is pretty normal.
But rush yards. Yeah, whatever the hell it is against the Steelers, I'm in.
39.5, I'm over. So 6 games, he's been over 40 every time.
Oh, God. Is it really 39.5?
If it is, which I could see it being, I could totally see it being 39.5.
Hit the Vaseline sounder again. I'm lubing properly.
Is there, is it even out there? There's probably no player props.
I didn't see it before the broadcast because if it was out there, I would have emptied the account as a result. But all right, not there. But keep an eye out on Tyler Huntley rush yards. I'm assuming it's going to be in the low 40s, but TBD on that. Damon, hey guys. Hola. Need a win this week. I have Watson and Brady on my squad. I can drop one of them for Goff or Huntley in a PPR. Why does it matter if it's PPR? Are they catching passes too? Clase Azul, yes. Please and thank you. Serve it now. But what do you do here at the quarterback position? Do you go Watson, Brady, or drop one of those guys for Goff or Huntley?
I feel like if you probably had to hold on Watson for a while. I don't know if you drafted him and stashed him that early, but you probably picked him up at least a couple weeks ago. And I don't think it's fair to cut him after one rusty, outing. So I don't think I'm making the move. I'm probably living with Tom Brady. It's like, Huntley's going to go away in a couple weeks, and then it's Goff. I mean, Brady's like 2 touchdowns. It's been 3 straight weeks with 246 or more through the air and 2 touchdowns. I feel like you're going to get that from whether it's Brady or Goff. You're probably getting it one way or the other. So I don't know if you cut him loose.
I don't mind cutting Brady loose. I go Goff. I can't believe I'm saying that. In fact, I would have given myself crazy pills and said, hey, you're taking all these crazy pills at season's beginning if I, would have uttered that statement. But I think it's entirely applicable, especially when Goff is at home and you have a lot on the line because it's nearly playoff time in fantasy football. All right, we're going to get back to your comments and questions here momentarily. Don't forget to submit those comments and questions via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube on our Faith the Noise channel. Watch Live on the Line this Sunday at noon Eastern on the Bally Sports RSNs with the two of us, Cameron Smith, maybe Danny Kleber. I don't know if she's going to be back or not. Or you can stream it at watchstadium.com/live. And also go to BetMGM right now. Sign up for an account today. Games, props, and more. Use that promo code Noise, Noise, to get your sweet sign-up bonus today, which you could use on this player prop. Saquon Barkley, who has been a massive disappointment here last couple of weeks, 71.5 rush yards against a division rival, Eagles. Big game in this division, -115. Either direction, does Barkley show up against a defense he could probably beat?
Yeah, you think Philly's defense is soft? Is that what you're saying?
Up front, there's question marks.
A little bit, but they're going to have to basically keep Philadelphia in check for him to get the volume probably needed to get over this number. I think, I'm just looking at his game log right now. It's been under decidedly in 3 straight, 4 of the last 5. Yeah, I mean, I think, what does he have? 4 games over total on the year, 5 over total. Yeah, I'm going to say under.
This is really close. Slightly over for me, but here's some disturbing underlying stats on Saquon. I got to share with the masses. He is now RB27 in yards after contact per attempt on the season, and he's only forced a missed tackle 14% of the time. That's like bottom third of the league. It is so unusual to see that when he was killing it early on this season, but he's fallen back to the rest of the pack and has become very average here of late. So reluctantly, I'm taking the over, but it's a really good number.
Yeah, I'm feeling strong about the under.
Do you feel strong about this? So much so that you might actually take out a State Farm policy with Patrick Mahomes, 17.5 rush yards, minus 115, either direction here. Brandon, you and I met Patrick Mahomes before he blew up, before he became the stud that he is. And I'd like to say, because the interaction he had with us, it propelled him to greatness. So I feel like
we launched him. Yeah,
I feel like if you get your money and muscle behind this, you're going to propel him to greatness on the ground.
Yeah, and he's been pretty great on the ground. If you look at since week 3, I think he's been under just twice, right? And one of them was last week against Cincinnati, but he ran for a touchdown. Gonna get some pressure with that Denver defense, so I could see him waddling his way to 18 rushing yards.
He's done booty scoots. Booty scoots. For sure.
Yeah, I'm imagining you're on the over here as well.
Oh, this number is doughy. It's soft. I couldn't believe how low it was when it came out. Quite honestly, usually it's in the low 20s. It has been in the last several weeks, but thanks to last week's 3 carries for 9 yards that against the Bengals. Its recency bias has been baked in. As a result, it's lowered this number, where I think it's an incredible value right now. I mean, he's averaging 3.7 attempts per game, 23.6 rush yards per game. He's been over this. The only game in the last 10 he's been under was that Cincinnati game. That's it. And you look at Denver, they're number 15 still in sack rate. So they're still putting some pressure on the quarterback position. And Mahomes is just a magician when he calls his own number at times, and he's going to do that. Look, Derek Carr did this. Zach Wilson did this, and Tyler Huntley did this against the Broncos. Just add Mahomes' name to the list.
Yeah, he's averaging 6 yards over this number. So he'd have to have a very subpar kind of day, which, as you mentioned, are few and far between.
Indeed. All right, we're going to get questions from here on out. Submit them right now via Facebook, at Yahoo Noise, Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube on the Fade the Noise channel. Let's get back to those inquiries, and let's start off with Ryan. Ryan says, Derek Carr on a short week or Geno, who's also really a top 10 guy this week, quite honestly. You going Geno, Seattle boy?
Yeah, I am. He's been so dang consistent. I mean, Derek Carr's been pretty consistent of late, too. I like them both. I think I have them back-to-back, but I have Geno right ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go Geno Smith there over Carr. Chiefs fan says, if Treylon Burks doesn't play, do you think Robert Woods is worth starting? Hell to the no.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm starting in one league, Chig Okonkwo, the tight end. And if there's a longest catch on that guy, get in on that. But, yeah, I would probably be more interested in Nick Westbrook-Ikhine over Robert Woods if no Treylon Burks.
Brandon, this is how you and I are just attached to the hip. I had a Okonkwo. Somebody brought it up the other day, and I'm like, oh, man. I think it was yesterday. I think the over on longest catch is going to hit for him. So I jotted down. I have a pile of notes. I don't see it in front of me, but I wrote it down yesterday. You and I right there, brother. Right there. Right there.
That means we're going to be fighting over it for Live on the Line on Sunday. But
it means Okonkwo's screwed. Roger says Dak, Geno, or Huntley. So throwing Dak and Huntley into the mix, does that usurp Geno?
Well, what team has the fewest pass attempts against is the Houston Texans. And the reason for that is you can run all over them. And you got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, both healthy. You can give them a ton of volume. You can take Dak and let him chill a little bit this week, I think it's got to be Geno for that reason.
Yeah, I'm going to go Geno. What you see is what you get. That's bottom line there. J Red says, do you think Hurts is taking over the MVP race from Mahomes? I think it's 1A, 1B still right now.
Yeah, I think it comes down to whoever has the more fantastic final month here ahead, I think wins it. They're probably, I don't know what the odds are right now, but they're probably close to even, right?
Yeah, they are. They are. I think at some of the books earlier this week, they were dead even. I think they were both like plus 250, plus 300, something like that in the market. It's going to work itself out here toward the end of the regular season. Naturally, it will, but it's neck and neck in that race. Damon says, sorry, I didn't clarify. Who would you start out of these four? Goff, Brady, Watson, or Huntley? I think we already decided. I said Goff. And you.
Oh, but the requirement, I like Goff the most. I'm in agreement,
Yeah.
But the requirement is that you would have to cut. You'd have to cut like Brady or Watson. So
yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
what I remember.
Whatever. Goff and Brady probably play even the rest of the year. So whatever. I'm fine with that.
I like it when you say whatever. Roger says, with Taylor on a bye, need 2 in a full point PPR. Singletary, P. Ryan. You're saying that Joe Mixon likely to be back. Cam Akers tonight. Tony Jones Jr. No. Or Travis Homer. No. I don't know what Seattle's going to trot out there, and it's largely going to be rubbish. So what do you do?
Yeah, because of the man, I'm going to go Travis Homer because I don't think DJ Dallas or Kenneth Walker's playing. So give me Travis Homer and give me, good Lord. God, do you go Cam Akers with his opportunity right now against the Raiders?
He got 17 carries last week. You got to follow the volume.
God, it makes me feel dirty. Give me Homer and Akers. Good Lord.
It's that point of the year. We got a college basketball hot take from J Red, and he's asking for it. Daddy wants, Daddy needs, Daddy got to have it. Ohio State tonight, 6.5-point favorite over Rutgers. And I tell you what, I will not fade you. I'm going to follow you on that selection. You want some background? Because I talked about this on the show. Brandon, just take a break for a second. The only L's that Ohio State has had this season was against San Diego State and Duke. They're both nationally ranked. They're a top 5 offensive team, according to adjusted offensive efficiency. And the key to this game, and there's a play on that last word, is Zedkey. They get a ton of offensive rebounds. Omarare is an excellent defender in the interior for the Scarlet Knights. If Zedkey wins a lot of those battles inside, I'm with you. Ohio State, Buckeyes, Brutus, cracking nuts, and also cracking the sports book if you take him. I like him as well.
I'm fading
on the favorite. What? Your favorite?
Fading. Yeah, I've got a little birdie told me that Rutgers has a really good team this year. So
Rutgers is good. There's no question about it, but it's road life in the Big Ten. With the exception of Michigan State, I bet on Penn State last night. You're welcome, Spartans fans, as a result of that. That's what propelled, clearly, the Sparty party to ensue there in Happy Valley. But for me, the road life of the Big Ten is tough. And I think Ohio State's an exceptional team. And they're going to, take this one. Big Ten's just going to bloody itself as it does every single year. I just hope my Illini emerge from the fray at the end. All right, Roger, back to football, says flex Juju or Joshua Palmer in a full point PPR.
I'm probably going to go Juju here. It's close.
Yep.
But
it is close. Yeah, I would go Juju too. We got some props. Sean says, good call on Trent Sherfield over reception yards last week. The first play of the game, 75-yarder touchdown. Awesome.
Don't cut him loose if you picked him up either, because we'll have to wait and see if Jalen Waddle's a go this week. If he's not, makes a nice little play there.
Yes. Every time I look at Sherfield, I think of Gary Sheffield. I don't know why.
I loved Gary Sheffield.
I did too. J.Ed says Cam Akers or Raheem Mostert for me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, any chance I can get to not pick Cam Akers, I'm going to take it.
Jesse, tequila, yes, please. Bartender, pour it, stat. Different league, full point PPR, need a running back and a flex on a tight end. Carter, Akers, Slayton, DPJ, Henry, he's in. Okonkwo.
Damn it. Gave me a pick here where I have to pick Cam Akers again. I'm going to go Cam Akers. I'm going to go the alpha receiver for the Giants, Darius Slayton, and I'm going to go Hunter Henry. Although I like Okonkwo, but I just love Henry's matchup against Arizona.
Well, Kako doesn't get enough work. That's the problem. Damon back again. Wilson or Singletary? Wilson all day.
Wilson, give me the volleyball.
That's right. Tommy says full point PPR flex. Thielen, DPJ, Carter, Rashad White, and if Waddle doesn't play, who should I throw in? Maybe Sherfield if he's available. But who do you like out of that group?
Gonna go Rashad White. Also, same reason as Leonard Fournette. The catches. Give me Adam Thielen because of the matchup. And if you have to throw in a third guy, God bless America, I guess you're gonna go with Michael. No, I gotta go with Donovan Peoples. I don't know.
Just pick up Trent Sherfield. Likely he's going to be available.
Exactly.
I don't know what the league size is, but I mean, Sherfield only had the one reception last week, 75 yards and a touchdown. But if Waddle is out, his workload spikes. Go get him. Sean says, due to Sportsbook in Maryland, is there such thing as too many legs to a parlay, in your opinion? Yes. I would not ever do more than 4 legs. Ever on anything. Same gamer, 1 game parlay at BetMGM. Heavy Saturday slate in college basketball. I honestly normally do 2-leg parlays and 3-leg parlays, and sporadically, and it's a rare occurrence, I'll do a 4-legger. But I have all of my picks available in college hoops tonight, and one of them is a 3-leg parlay, which I cashed on last night. I've done really well in those so far on the money line parlays. I'm not trying to get rich quick, but you get decent plus odds and build a bankroll.
Yeah, and really, if you're getting 4 or 5 or 6, you're gonna have to do a teaser parlay where you're moving the numbers down. So
alt lines.
Yeah, alt line parlays. Yep.
Yeah, love those. Next up, Ron says, "Hey guys, trying to make the playoffs on a half-point PPR Akers or your guy?"
Yeah, my guy. I guess I'm all about Lenny. That's me. So give me.
Well, I will also be all about Lenny. The decision is Cam Akers or him. So I'm with you. I'll take Fournette. Nick says Njoku or Moreau, also going to be a good week for the Bears. Laughing emojis. Of course, the Bears are off. They keep losing, and I applaud them. Well done, Bears. Keep losing. Who cares?
God, I guess Moreau. I'm interested in Njoku once Deshaun Watson finally kind of gets online, but who knows how long that's going to take. Give me Moreau. I feel like he's a safe 40-yard bet.
If Njoku plays, I'm playing Njoku because the touchdown upside is substantial. But if you want to, knowing the kind of dice roll there on that, go Moreau. It's a sure thing. All right, next up.
Substantial, to be honest with you. I mean, they had a hard time scoring against Houston. Now you got to go with
Watson's all that dust, all that rust. He shook some of it off.
Okay, that's what I'm a little bit worried about. Causing me to vacillate a little bit.
Daddy what daddy need, daddy gotta have, not Vaseline, but so John goes, it hurts so good.
Hurts so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good.
He's got a prop here, 228 and a half passing and 47 and a half rushing for Hurts. That's a steal. I'm assuming he's taking the over on both. Any disagreement there?
No, I don't think so. I was just quickly looking it up so that, man, he has not been getting to the 228 passing at all with regularity. So that one worries me a little bit. He's had 1, 2, 3 of his last 4 have been 190 or less. So that could be the bugaboo there.
It's close. I'm more worried about the rushing than anything else.
I'm looking at that too. Like an 86 and a 157, but then you got a 27, a 10, a 23, a 28, and a 12. So only over in 2 of his last, what was that, 7, 6 games? It's pretty bad.
Oh, do a same game parlay. 1 game parlay at BetMGM. Take the thresholds down a little bit. And maybe you can get the juice down to like plus 100, plus 105, then jump all over it. That's the way I approach it, John. Last comment from Jesse. Shout out to you guys. Mr. Guys podcast. I have a podcast. It's called The Fade 5. You must be talking about a radio show. For the love of God, could you please team up and start a YouTube channel? We already did. How you had your podcast. You guys are just the best in the industry. Once you guys left Yahoo, that show went downhill. Oh, different show. Much love. Yes, we used to have the Fantasy Freak Show that I coined that name a long time ago. God, I thought it had so much T-shirt potential. The Fantasy Freak Show, blazing across it.
Jesse, making a play to be our agent for our shows here. I mean, I love it. And he's got Phil Dunphy as his little icon there. Love it. I love Jesse all around.
You know who we love is BetMGM because they've given us an opportunity to revive Fade the Noise after we exited the airwaves, and we at least bring this broadcast to you every hour during the NFL season on Thursdays. Hell, maybe we could do something more around the NCAA tournament. And I've been Brandon back, and he asked me a bunch of questions. Never know where this could take us.
You said every hour on Thursday. I just want to correct you there. 1 hour.
Oh, well, 1 hour, yeah. Maybe I need more tequila.
I didn't want to set the expectations too high for the next Thursday.
All right, we are out of time. Don't forget, watch Live and Line coming up this Sunday on Bally Sports RSNs with the two of us on television, live animated picture and sound. You can also stream it on Stadium at watchstadium.com/live. Also, too, please go help us out by signing up at BetMGM. Drop $20 into an account and just play with it. Do like $5 bets on the game tonight. You need something to keep your interest high. And that's why I have like 5 tickets open on my spreadsheet. It's available on Twitter at Noisy Wavos. You can see what I've actually wagered on. And I did so at BetMGM and use that promo code NOISE, NOISE, NOISE to fade or follow our selections here on the broadcast. For Brandon Funston, I'm Brad Evans. Until next Thursday, adios, amigos.